The most equal country in the rich world is Japan. The best of 10th, just best it gets, it just takes 4.5 times more than the poorest 10th. Japan is a remarkably equal country economically. Japan has fewer people earning £1 million a year, nationally about 300 people earning £1 million a year, fewer than in the headquarters of Barclays in Canary Wharf. We are ridiculous, as you're about to see. We have over 2,000 financiers earning over €1 million a year. In Europe, these are European statistics, only Europe actually collects these, we don't. In Europe, the next highest country is Germany, which has 197 bankers earning that much. We have over 2,000. So, Japan's at the bottom, then a predictable country, Sweden, Norway and Finland, and then Germany, a remarkably equitable country, despite the fact it's got the second highest number of highly paid bankers in Europe. Austria, Slovenia, South Korea, Denmark, Belgium, Switzerland. The 1% in Switzerland take half as much money as the 1% in Britain. The Swiss have a banking industry. The Swiss banking industry is very good, possibly better than our banking industry. But Swiss bankers are happy to work for half as much money as British bankers. If you carry on going up the league table, 25 countries in all, getting a little bit more unequal than Switzerland is France. But in France, the average family, the median family in France, is living off an income of 10,000 more euros a year than the median family in Britain. So when they tell you that France is an economic basket case, you have to ask why the middle family is so much better off. And that's before they even have to start to think about paying for housing. And our housing costs are much higher than housing costs in France. After France, the Netherlands. The Netherlands is, if you like, the middle country in this league table of inequality. If you were aiming for a country to emulate, it would be the Netherlands. Because if you're doing very badly, as I'm about to show you we're doing, trying to become like Scandinavia might be a bit too much. I mean, I suspect some of you have hopes of becoming like Scandinavia. You never know, you might want to create your own country and that kind of thing. But it takes a couple of generations to get there. I would aim for the Netherlands. It's not that far away either, similar place. But in the Netherlands, the boss of Royal Dutch Shell a few years ago was quoted as saying, if you paid me twice as much, I wouldn't work any harder, and if you paid me half as much, I'd work just as hard. You're beginning to get these quotes from all over Europe. You even get these quotes from some bosses in the United States. Not a single rich person in Britain, not one, has said that there's any problem with their riches. We stand out like a sore thumb internationally. Going up from the Netherlands, Ireland's slightly more unequal. Well, it was. No, but this is 2010. Then Canada, then Greece. Again, it's changed. Spain, which has changed. Italy, which has changed, as I'll show you, New Zealand. Australia, and then Israel. Pretty unequal country in Israel. Has some internal problems with its population. Doesn't tend to get on that well with everybody. But economically more unequal than Israel is the United Kingdom. That's the division between us. The best of 10 people in the United Kingdom are getting almost 14 times more than the worst of 10th of people in the UK. Above the UK, Portugal. It's no longer there. The economic crisis in Portugal has actually hit the richest the most. The poor didn't have anything to lose anyway, and so Portugal has become more equal. Then the United States. The United States is the place we keep on looking at for economic policy. Gordon Brown used to fly to the United States every summer on holiday. Ed Balls used to go off to the United States. Why we went off to the United States to look for messages about how we should live, I don't know. But the US is more unequal than us, and finally Singapore. So if you want an idea of what a even more unequal place that the UK might be like, you have to go now to the US and Singapore. Inequality really matters.